talked about PDFA pilot already, about creating PDF containers with other content in them. Now, obviously, I want to talk about PDFA pilot when it comes to PDF-based ISO standards. First of all, as I've said yesterday, our PDF technology is also an OEM product that we have, which means our technology is working in Adobe Acrobat, Foxit, and many other OEM products, which means if you would use the standards engine in PDFA pilot, you would use the very same technology that is being used there. So it definitely has a huge user base. The product originally was designed for PDFA, but supports all the standards that I have mentioned. PDFA, PDFE, PDFUA, XVT, VCR, and you can do validation and conversion, and you can convert PDF files, but you could also convert Office files, emails, HTML files, or images, so source files can also be other file formats. I have to say for Office files, we are using the import and export filters of Office applications. So you can do that if there is an Office application on the computer installed, but you don't have to run it actually. We just use the filters because we find that this brings, it's the only way to get exactly the same results as if you would convert the files with an Office application. It's also possible, and that is actually an increasing number of users are asking for that. They want to create files that don't just comply with one standard. So they want to create files that comply with PDFA and PDFUA at the same time, or with PDFA and PDFX at the same time. So these two are really often asked for. And our engine is designed, it has internally all validation and conversion is based on checks or fix-ups, what we call checks and fix-ups, and these are configurable. So the user has access to the checks and the fix-ups and can combine them to a profile, and all the validation and conversion profiles are accessible to the user. So I just here's a small screenshot from the UI. You don't have to understand it, but this shows that in this example is I'm asking the engine to check whether an incoming PDF file is compliant with either PDFX4, PDFA1 or B or PDFUA. And when I combine two of these profiles together, I can say, okay, validate whether they comply with any of these standards, and I can also say whether they comply to all of these standards. As I've said, it's possible to create a PDF file that complies to more than just one ISO standard. This is the interactive product here, so it's easy to use. So we have what we call PDFA in one click interface. So there you basically have two choices. You can check, validate, or convert, and then you do so. So it's easy to use. However, it can also be highly customizable. So as I've said, it is internally based on configurable checks and fix-ups, and then you can create and add your own checks and fix-ups, and then you can pick up checks and fix-up on several from several sources. For PDFUA, I said there is semantic validation required. There is a tool that allows you to display the tagging structure, and then we have the desktop tool, but in fact we are mostly integrated into workflows or into products. So there, of course, we also have a hot folder or command line program and library. And that's it. Thank you very much.